What is up, guys? Dashing here for episode 516 of Community Universe Mode and edition number 138 of, well, Sunday Night Genesis this time around, as I was unable to stream it yesterday, and I actually changed my room around earlier today, and my TV is a lot closer to my couch. I'm getting like blown back at this high quality. I have glasses. Hey, here's a little dashing tip you might not have known. My eyes are really bad. I'm legally blind without glasses. So usually my TV is really far away. I can hardly see anything. And now I'm up close. And whoa! It's like I'm there, man. It's like I'm in the ring. But we are coming back at you. Some more CMV action, an action-packed card. As always, this time brought to you, ladies and gentlemen, by our very own Mark, the winner of the predictions contest at Ascendant 6. One of his prizes was... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Yeah. Woo! All right, now that we get that out of the way, one of Mark's prizes for winning the predictions contest was that he was able to take over the role as Booker. I got a nice night off. So let's see what he has in store for us as we kick off the show with some singles action. And it is Kevin Silva taking on Prince Brent, one of the newest superstars here to Genesis, of course, brought over during the draft. But of course, guys, in the wake of Ascendant 6, there's not too much time left here on good old 2K18. Only a couple of months remaining, and for the superstars of Genesis, there's only one more stop on pay-per-view, and that is in 4 weeks at the third Anarchy Rules event. Anarchy Rules actually hasn't been around in CMV for 2 years, but it returns for the Genesis roster, and that is the final time the boys of Genesis will have the opportunity to compete on pay-per-view. So, you know, every superstar is going to be wanting to clamor to get on that card to be featured, maybe head into next season as a champion, or at least with a big win. I was hyped a bit earlier this week on Twitter and on our website that General Manager Castlefave has got a big announcement that we will get to later on tonight. But throughout the show, the newest superstars to Genesis, as I touched on the draft earlier this week, we found out who was going to Fusion. The full draft list was posted on the website, so a lot of guys going to be making their Genesis debut tonight. And next week, we know that international champion Brody Hallett, guys, is going to be defending his international title, starting a weekly open challenge. We are going to find out who will be his first challenger, as tonight, guys, a triple threat will take place featuring, get this, Mr. Extreme, Perry Heenan, and the former undisputed champion, Reese Matthews. That is going to be an awesome triple threat. Mr. Extreme getting a huge opportunity, Perry Heenan making his debut for a big opportunity, and of course, Reese Matthews, who was supposed to get an international championship match actually last week, but of course, Ricky Spanish ended up attacking him, as we know, and this fight spills to the outside where the referee is at a count of 4. Now, guys, well, the top of the show certainly started strong in the aftermath of Ascendant 6. Josh Wolf, of course, the new Alpha World Champion, came out here to, well, celebrate his championship win as well as try to focus on the future. He said, in the past, I'm not Josh Wolf, I'm not Fenrir, I'm something else now, but hopefully it's something that I can, you know, move forward with him and be the Alpha World Champion that you all deserve. But Josh Wolf's coronation didn't last long because Maseo Yu, probably one of the biggest draft picks for Genesis, came out with Ted Dickens, his new manager, interrupting Wolf. And well, Yu and Dickens got straight to the point. They wanted an Alpha World Championship match, challenged Josh Wolf to defend his title for the first time at Anarchy Rules, which Wolf promptly accepted. But apparently that wasn't enough. He wanted Josh Wolf in the ring tonight, and Wolf accepted, guys. But unfortunately, Wolf got ahead of himself because the medical team informed him, Castlefave, and I just now that he is not able to compete. He is not medically cleared to compete tonight at that hellacious Iron Man match he had with Chris Andrews at Ascendant 6. So Wolf, unfortunately, will not be able to compete tonight against Masao Yume. The medical crew will not allow the champion to be in action. So we are not going to be able to see the new champion tonight in that Genesis ring. But right now, we might see Prince Brent make a big debut himself as he has Kevin Silva in trouble. The Portuguese god of wrestling, usually the one tapping out people. Maybe tonight he's going to be the one tapping out. No, going to find a way to escape. Yeah, well, even though we're not going to get Masao Yume Josh Wolf tonight, Castlefave has informed me that next week we're going to get the non-title match between Masao Yume and Josh Wolf ahead of their confirmed Castlefave also making it official Anarchy Rules Masao Yume Josh Wolf for the Alpha World Championship. Yeah, Chris Andrews is in action tonight. I think the medical crew is too afraid of Chris Andrews, though. They're not going to try to tell him what to do, you know? What a main event that's going to be. Chris Andrews, Tim LaFave one-on-one for the first time in over 2 years. They both had very different Ascendance experiences, but sure to be a hell of a match as Kevin Silva right now is trying to get himself back into this matchup. Yeah, we do know that Paul Devine will be in action tonight. That's definitely, I said Masao Yume's one of the biggest draft picks. Paul Devine, no doubt, the biggest draft pick for the first time ever in his CMV career. A member of the Genesis roster, a 5-time world champion debuts tonight in our co-main event. I'm so excited to see what Devine can do on Genesis. He's done everything he can do on Fusion. Now he's looking to take over Saturday nights. As Kevin Silva drags Prince Brent by arm and leg. And guys, even though Josh Wolf will not be in action tonight and we won't get Yume Wolf, Yume is still going to be in competition. Up next, he's actually taking an Angelo Babos, a quick substitute by Castlefave. Babos was here. He was ready to compete, had his gear. So, you know, Yume wanted to get it on. Castlefave said, why not? So that should be an interesting match as Kevin Silva gets off his patented capture suplex. No, this is the first match, Diamond. Kevin Silva locking in his Olympic stretch, as he calls it, the abdominal stretch. And Prince Brent submits. Kevin Silva tapping out Prince Brent in Brent's debut. Certainly a hard-fought battle. And of course, Silva, guys, earlier this week on Fusion, substituted for Randy Orton in the Good Brothers defending their trios title. So Silva on a bit of a roll now. We have a couple of tweets, guys. First comes from John Reed, who says, at Castlefave, give Josh Wolf a week off, yet Bloody Brett has to compete. Not on the brand now, but you still are the worst GM. Yeah, John Reed drafted to Fusion, but still a part of the hashtag no confidence movement, it seems. And then Chris Andrews, guys, says, nothing's going to stop me from competing, even if I'm stitched up, banged up, and fucked up. Tonight, I take on an old rival in Tim LaFave. So, Britt caught him with a little bit of a shot towards Josh Wolf there, kind of low-key. But Josh Wolf's a champion, and Wolf has injured himself before. He's pushed himself over the limit before. He can't afford to do that now that he's the champion, now that he's the face of Genesis. He's got to take it easy. He's got to learn how to slow down. Kevin Silva, though, with a great victory here. And of course, Silva earlier tonight got into it with Money in the Bank winner El Jefe. Yeah, that's right. You didn't see Ascendance. El Jefe winning the Genesis Money in the Bank ladder match. She and Kevin Silva getting into a pretty heated confrontation. So I'm sure El Jefe was watching. I can't wait to see a Silva El Jefe match. That has banger written all over it. But right now, Silva's going to appreciate that victory he just picked up. Come on. Well, as I said, even though we're in a scheduled confrontation between Masao Yuma and Josh Wolf here tonight, instead we're going to get that next week ahead of their one-on-one matchup for the championship at Anarchy Rules. Masao Yuma still going to be competing as he takes on the outlaw Angelo Babos. Should be a very interesting matchup. A little bit of an international flavor. But this is no doubt a colossal opportunity for Masao Yuma. And man, I mean, we all know I don't like Ted Dickens, but come on, your first night on Genesis, Dickens gets Masao Yuma a World Championship match. We know that Joshua said he's going to be a fighting champion, so as soon as Yuma stepped up, Wolf said, yep, let's get it on, no doubt about it. That's going to be a hell of a match. Will Wolf be able to handle it? The former Rising Star champion in Masao Yuma. Yeah, I sneezed, so now I'm probably going to be sniffling the entire stream. Well, here's a tweet from Wolf Guy. It says, I want to be out there tonight, and it legitimately pissed me off that the doctors made this mistake. Next week, I will destroy you. I don't know that it's a mistake. I mean, the doctor's looking out for Wolf. Like I said, now he's champion. Wolf's got to learn to take it easy and not overwork himself. Coming off the hellacious half-an-hour Ironman match just a week ago, you know. Tonight's show is going to be amazing, guys. The Kings, Chris Diamond, and the light heavyweight champion Rob Cross are going to debut. We know Paul Devine's going to be here. And we had that huge main event. Chris Andrews and Tim LaFave one-on-one. And Anarchy Rules is indeed the last stop for the Superstars of Genesis in 4 weeks, guys. But September 2nd, next Sunday, is the next stop for Fusion Battle Scars 4, which is already shaping up to be an awesome event. Of course, Fusion going to have their Money in the Bank ladder match. Talk briefly about what happened earlier tonight, guys. Castle Fave, I'm sure, was taken aback as much as Tim LaFave was when Tim came out here to talk about his win over Bob Luger at Ascendant 6 and what comes next. We were all baffled. Pat LaFave, his father, guys, returning and apparently not setting his sights on Tim again, instead setting his sights on Cass. It seems like Pat, sniffing out this hashtag no confidence movement, is here to try to take over. Cass LaFave having security eject Pat out of the arena. The hashtag no confidence movement is certainly gaining traction here on Genesis, guys. And Cass LaFave, if she wasn't worried before, she should be now. As here comes Masao Yuma, this Japanese bulldozer who has himself a shot at Josh Wolf in the Alpha World Championship in 4 weeks at Anarchy Rules. And of course, guys, if you're not a long-time CMV member, Anarchy Rules is a pay-per-view where every single matchup is going to have a stipulation. And I actually found out from General Manager Cass LaFave earlier tonight that that match between Yuma and Wolf next week, it's not going to be for nothing. The winner of that match will get to pick the stipulation for their title match at Anarchy Rules. So that is huge. If Yuma wins, he gets to pick the stipulation for Anarchy Rules. If Wolf wins, he gets to pick the stipulation. And that's immediately a colossal advantage for whomever gets that opportunity. So it's not just going to be for nothing. Here's Yuma trying to break out of this straitjacket German suplex from Angelo Babos as the Outlaw now goes up to the second turnbuckle. Remember, we still have a huge announcement from Cass LaFave later tonight regarding Anarchy Rules. Says she's got a hell of a way to close out the season. I'm looking forward to it. You know, Masao Yuma's first night on Genesis, not wanting to take this loss here. Kicks out the back of Babos' knee. Big kick to the chest to follow through. Yuma's a lethal striker, being from Japan. That strong style. Look at that. Clothesline doesn't even take Yuma completely down. Just knocks him onto his knees. What up, Hellish? I don't think I said hi to you. What up, Tim? Hello. Only the second match. Yep. And Suntan. Hello. Everybody coming in. Zach pain drop. And wow, everybody just decided to come in at this exact moment. Hello, hello, hello. You missed the first match, Crispy, which actually had Kevin Silva in action. Would you like me to spoil? Or are you going to go back and watch it yourself? And dash, my goodness, the bell must have rang or something. Everybody coming in right now as Masao Yum looks to bash Babos' face in off this top turnbuckle here. We did get a couple more tweets, I believe, here from Crow Guy. Says, Land of Tag Teams is about to come the Anarchist Asylum. Yeah, the Anarchist, certainly a big drafter to Genesis. I'm excited to see what the former Fusion Tag Team Champions can do going after the World Tag Team titles. Kevin Silva won. Tapped out Prince Brent in a pretty good match. Kevin Silva on a bit of a roll after, of course, helping the Good Brothers retain the Trios titles earlier this week on Fusion. But it's Yum right now who's looking towards next week when he gets his hands on Josh Wolf. The winner of that gets to pick their stipulation for the title match at Anarchy Rules. Yum with a massive power slam to Babos. Now goes for an aggressive lateral press. Still to come tonight, that triple threat later on between Mr. Extreme, Perry Hidden, and Reese Matthews, where the winner next week will challenge Brody Halleck for the International Championship. Hallett be getting a weekly open challenge that starts next week. Babos has finished opponents off with this combination before, guys. Massive forearm smash. Can you imagine if Yum knocks off the #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship? That would be huge for the career of Babos, who slowly approaches, I believe, looking for that buzzsaw kick. We talk about the strong striking ability of the Japanese Bulldozer. How about that kick by Babos? That nearly does Yum in, but not quite enough. Not yet, at least. Looking to kick out the knee there. Oh! Was Yum instead got a heel hook to the side of the head and to the top rope. Goes the Outlaw looking to fly high. Is this so smart late in the match? Nope, it's going to come back to bite him. Completely misses that knee drop. Now Yum takes a deep breath, sang a bit of a prayer to, I don't know exactly what type of deity he believes in. I don't want to sound racist and say Buddha. Maybe praying to dead Dickens backstage. Stomping on that hand maliciously here is Yum. Now gonna kick out Babos' knee once again. These sharp kicks to the chest over and over. And that final one planted right to the back of the head. No time wasted. The Japanese Bulldozer immediately looks to finish. But Babos was ready. Babos did his homework. Countering the elevator ride. Modified double knee backstabber. Babos is rolling. Can Babos pull off this colossal upset? Discus knee strike catching Yum right on the button. 1, 2, 3! Angelo Babos with a discus knee strike has just defeated Masao Yum. Holy shit! Babos with a huge upset. Yum! What? No, Yum, don't fall for this. Masao Yum's not this kind of guy. Babos, don't turn your back. Leg victory. And Yum with the elevator to Angelo Babos, falling for the handshake, and Yum striking from behind with the elevator to Babos. A massive upset. Angelo Babos defeating the #1 contender to the Alpha World Championship, defeating Masao Yum in his Genesis debut, but Yum, in the end, getting the last laugh with the elevator. Babos should have known better, in all honesty, but after such a big win, I don't blame him for taking his eyes off the ball, if you will. But, I mean, at the end of the day, what a win for the Outlaw. That is going to be a huge factor in determining what is next for Babos. But still, this tells me that Yube is going to be even more aggressive coming after Josh Wolf next week here on Genesis. They go one-on-one, and the winner gets to pick the stipulation for their championship match at Anarchy Rules in 4 weeks. But I'm sure Wolf likes seeing that as he watches from the back, unable to compete. But up next, guys, it is yet another debut on the Genesis brand following the draft earlier this week. But of course, they weren't really a part of the draft. It was Chris Diamond, TJ Moon at Ascendant 6 inside of Hell, and it was that if he lost, would have to leave Monday Night Fusion. So obviously the only place they could go was Genesis, the former Rising Star champion, the 3rd annual Tag Team Cup winners, last ever Fusion Tag Team champions, Diamond, Money in the Bank winner, former world champion, of course, Rob Cross, the current light heavyweight champion, now looking to begin anew as they take on the former world 10-8, who of course lost their titles to the Forsaken over Ascendance weekend. So you know the ATL are wanting a big win to get back on track. What's up, SVR? The Kings, the Ballers, making their way to the ring for the first time ever here on Genesis, and Rob Cross, of course, surviving that hellacious 8-man ladder match of the show, shows to win the Light Heavyweight Championship, doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Now the Light Heavyweight Championship is back on Genesis. The Anarchy title, of course, going with Tyson Cage over to Fusion. So Rob Cross certainly is going to have a lot of competition chasing after him. Actually been told by Gentleman Richard Castlevade he will be defending his championship for the first time in 2 weeks. Castlevade giving herself some time to find a worthy contender. But tonight the Kings got to worry about these two, the former Fusion Tag Team Champions and World Tag Team Champions. Malcolm Fry there on the left, and Sean Porter on the right, the ATL. What a great match it was, and instead it's just against the Forsaken, but once again they came up short against their foes, and the Forsaken now the leaders of the pack and the Genesis Tag Team Division. They will defend their titles at Anarchy Rules, so the ATL certainly are wanting to be the ones to get that shot to become champions again. But guys, before this matchup truly gets underway, I talked about it earlier. It was posted on Twitter and the site. Castlefade has got a huge announcement regarding Anarchy Rules. And the announcement is this: at the final pay-per-view of the season for Genesis, the Elimination Chamber will return. 6 superstars, I've been told, will compete to go into next season as the #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship. And Castlevade has all 6 superstars decided. They have been selected, and I have been given the privilege of announcing the first 3 to you right here, right now. So right out of the gate, the first man announced for this #1 contenders Elimination Chamber Anarchy Rules, none other than the 5-time undisputed champion, the biggest draft pick for Genesis, the man who will debut later on tonight, guys. Paul Devine will enter the Elimination Chamber for his 2nd time ever in his CMV career. Joining him is an interesting pick, I thought, Dule Zaire, a Brule, guys, getting this huge opportunity to become #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship. And the final announcement for now, guys, being none other than another man we'll see make his Genesis debut later on tonight as Chris Diamond pulls off a beautiful shooting star press. Perry Heenan, the Pretty Boy Pitbull, a former Anarchy champion, 2nd annual Deadly Games winner, and who knows, this time next week might be international champion. So the first 3 of 6 guys, Paul Devine, Dulazair and Perry Heenan announced for the Elimination Chamber at Anarchy Rules, where the winner will go into next season as the #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship. Of course, who will be Alpha World Champion? Masao Yum challenges Josh Whoop for the title at the pay-per-view. The other three not to be announced just yet, as Deshaun Porter makes a tag to Malcolm Fry. Chris Diamond had a hell of a season, no doubt. And in my mind, I know Damian was voted as the newcomer of the year, but in my mind, Chris Diamond definitely would have been worthy of that award. Becoming Rising Star Champion, he and Rob Cross winning the 3rd annual Tag Team Cup, becoming the last ever Fusion Tag Team Champions, winning the Money in the Bank, cashing in to become World Champion. Double knee backstabber there. Interesting setup by Diamond. Up over the shoulders. TKO by Diamond is usually a setup for his patented Break Your Neck Foundation, the Canadian Destroyer. And that's exactly what he is looking for right here, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Diamond wanted to bring this match to an end. Break Your Neck Foundation connects. The ATL desperately trying to get another shot at the World Tag Team titles, but Chris Diamond has other plans in mind. The purple-haired baller only getting a 2 count, though. Oh, hook to the jaw. Hero slam by Malcolm Fry, quickly turning this matchup right around in the favor of the ATL. Tries to Irish whip Diamond in the corner, but Diamond obviously doing his homework, knows if he gets trapped in the corner, might get caught with the ATL's patented tag team finishing maneuver. Capture suplex from the suplex machine instead. Diamond desperately wants to make that tag to Rob Cross, but Malcolm Fry's not letting him. Irish whip to the corner, this time he gets it. Tag to Deshaun Porter. Will the Kings have an unruly arrival to Saturday nights? Enziguri Heine combo pulled into the Northern Lights suplex bridge to pin. 1, 2, 3. And the ATL just like that. I don't even think Rob Cross was legal in that match. What a surprising pullout for the ATL. So far, it has not been a good night for the superstars. Coming from Fusion to Genesis, Prince Brent lost, and the Kings taking the L. Rob Cross not even getting the opportunity to have any actual competition. Well, he'll get it in 2 weeks, because we know he'll be defending his light heavyweight title. But what is next for Chris Diamond after that unfortunate go here on Genesis number 138. The ATL, though, they want those titles back. Will they be the ones to challenge the Forsaken at Anarchy Rules? We got a lot of new teams coming to Genesis, though. One of the biggest being the Anarchists, and they have already declared that they want a shot at the titles. Well, we'll see how Diamond and Rob Cross can try to bounce back from this loss. But for the ATL, that was a much-needed victory after what happened at Ascendance. Sweating like a stuffed pig in here. Well, guys, up next, this should be a very interesting matchup. I expected to steal the show. Former Anarchy champion D'Angelo Prince going one-on-one with the newest rookie to Genesis, currently unbeaten Flatters, the blueprint of CMV. And again, there's just 4 weeks left until Genesis has its chamber. Paul Devine, Dulazair, and Perry Heenan announced for it. We know Masao Yu will challenge Josh Whoop for the Alpha World Championship. But it's next for D'Angelo Prince after losing his Anarchy title in that fatal 4-way at Ascendance, and then obviously now not going to be able to get his rematch, seeing as how Tyson Cage and the title were drafted to Fusion. Has nothing to joke around with. Flatters has been extraordinarily impressive since arriving, getting a count-out win over Matsuda Tanaka over Ascendance weekend. Flatters don't give a shit. He ain't paid by the hour, baby. Still to come tonight, guys, we know Paul Devine will debut in our co-main event, and we know that our main event is going to be one for the ages. Nearly 2 years since the last time Chris Andrews and Tim LaFave went at it, but we know Chris Andrews is not the greatest of conditions. And of course, after losing his Outlaw World Championship, got to be a bit down on himself right now, but the Brit's going to try to pick himself back up with a big win over Timmy Boy, who's got to be feeling good after his win over Bob Luger at Ascendant 6. But of course, after his father returned earlier tonight, Tim's probably got a lot of mixed emotions right now. And a tweet here, guys, from Chris Diamond says, I need to get past Ascendance. That's interesting. I guess Diamond may be saying that he's still hooked on his loss to PJ Moon at the show. Shows that that's why he was off his game tonight. In that case, yes, he does have to move on. Otherwise, we're going to see his back on that mat for a 3 count a lot more. Night of upsets so far. Can D'Angelo Prince be the one to put down Flatters, or will Flatters go 4-0? D'Angelo Prince, a CMV veteran, if you ask me, certainly has the potential to be a star, and that potential just might get its chance to flourish, because Casper has given me the opportunity to announce, guys, that the 4th member of that Elimination Chamber match at Anarchy Rules is none other than D'Angelo Prince. So he won't be able to become a 3-time Anarchy champion, won't be able to get his rematch, but D'Angelo Prince will step into the Elimination Chamber in 4 weeks to perhaps become #1 contender for the Outlaw World title. And with that news, D'Angelo Prince is certainly going to want to start racking up the wins. I love these picks by Castle Fave. You got your veterans in Paul Devine, who has chamber match experience, a 5-time world champion, and then you got these dark horses, Dulles Air and D'Angelo Prince, who have never been near the world title scene, and of course Perry Heaton in there as well, who came close winning the 2nd annual Deadly Games, but lost to Harvey Hastings with the world title on the line. Castle has told me that is all for tonight. The other 2 entrants will be announced on next week's show. That is already quite a lineup. Paul Devine, Dulles Air, Perry Heaton, and D'Angelo Prince inside the chamber. But imagine Flatters hearing this news. That's got to be giving him like a mission to come out here and beat Prince, prove that he should be in the chamber. A couple of standing shooting star headbutts. Not a great start for Prince here. Single knee gut buster there by D'Angelo. Immediately brings Flatters right back up to his feet. Like I said, Flatters was victorious over Ascendance Weekend, beating Matsuda Tanaka via countout. Meanwhile, D'Angelo Prince lost his Anarchy title in a hellacious fatal 4-way. Prince, the longest reigning Anarchy champion of this season, though certainly nothing to be ashamed of. D'Angelo Prince has got the makings of a star. Maybe, just maybe, if he can survive the torments of the Elimination Chamber heading into next season, he can realize that potential. But there's a lot of potential in Flatters as well, and I'll tell you that much, as Prince right here using Flatters as a base to do some single-handed push-ups. Up next, guys, here on Genesis, that big triple threat coming our way. Mr. Extreme Perry Hidden and Reese Matthews compete. The winner next week will challenge Brody Halleck for the international titles. Halleck begins a weekly open challenge. Halleck saying he gets paid the more he defends his title, and it's all about those paychecks, so Halleck getting that awesome victory over Hannibal at Ascendant 6, that big crossover match. Any 3 of those guys, Extreme, Heenan, Matthews, will certainly be a challenge for the Tower of Dominance, as you saw Flatters there go for a 630 senton. Did not pan out the way I'm sure he would have liked it to. Now Prince going to make him pay for it. Guys, let's just spoil it, right? Norman Cottonbelly is the 5th man in the Elimination Chamber. No, not really. Don't get excited, Bateman. Or Mark. Up on the top rope, D'Angelo Prince now is the one looking to fly. And not a man that you'll see frequently going off the top rope. Tries for a chop, but Flatters moves out of the way. Both men about the same size. And now that the light heavyweight championship is on Genesis, we just saw Rob Cross not in action, but he was in the ring on the apron. Watching as Chris Diamond got pinned, but you know, Flatters keeps up his ways. I would love to see Flatters versus Rob Cross for the light heavyweight championship. That'd be a hell of a match. Up against the ropes. Flatters now hanging D'Angelo Prince up to dry. This is not where he wants to be. Flatters cooking up something that's not going to end well for Prince. Oh no, Hangman's neck breaker. Oh, the way that Prince's spine bent over the rope right there, genuinely, it made me react. It made me cringe. Good Lord. Dragon screw though, Prince fires right back. Not letting Flatters take control for very long. Lateral press, only a 1 count. Now the former 2-time Anarchy champions trying to snap back into it, gain control with these educated feet being put to good use by the blueprint of CMV. Woo! Nice brainbuster there, and Flatters now wasting no time lining up Prince. I'm not too sure what he was going for there. Usually, Flatters likes to finish off his opponents from the top rope, but trying to change it up a bit, and it actually came back to bite him. Prince countering, trying to stay alive, standing moonsault to a pin, 1. Only a 1 count. Bringing Prince up to his seat slowly but surely, just to bring him right back down with that reverse DDT. Uh-oh. Tilt-a-whirl. DDT by Flatters. You could feel it in the air. Starting to build it up. The momentum rising to the top. Put the final nail in the coffin. Imploding. 450 splash by the blueprint. Into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Oh, mamma mia. Perhaps those precious couple of seconds that Flatters wasted not immediately going into the pin is what allowed Prince to kick out there. Off that top rope. And a tweet here, guys, from Mr. Extreme says, I'm going to make up for what happened at Ascendant 6 with this win tonight. A lot of people pointing the blame on Mr. Extreme in the Money in the Bank ladder match at the shows because he, oh, wait a minute! Roll up by Flatters with a rope break by Prince. Mr. Extreme was the one who was standing when El Jefe unhooked the briefcase. He was at the base of the ladder and was too late. One of the people who was most blaming Mr. Extreme is Mills, who of course made a huge surprise debut in that Money in the Bank ladder match. Mills has been very vocal about his disdain for Mr. Extreme and how he's going to make him pay. But Mr. Extreme definitely is hoping to push forward and earn an international title shot with that triple threat up next. Ooh, nice. Inverted crush by Flatters as D'Angelo Prince making a rookie mistake. And as a veteran, I don't know why he would do something like that. Now allowing Flatters to take control. Twist of fate by Flatters. Oh my God, I'm sweating so bad right now. I don't know why. Forearm smash up against the ropes. I'm in the thick of it. Being this close to my TV, it's like I'm actually in the Genesis arena. Jawbreaker. Bit of distance put between Flatters and D'Angelo Prince. Flatters likes to use that. Bring this match to an end, but Prince, the wily veteran, trying to stay alive. Heir to the throne. Just like that. Yes, it has. Mark, it's the announcement of an elimination chamber at Anarchy Rules for #1 contendership. The winner will head into next season to challenge for the Aqua World Championship as we get another twist of fate from Flatters. And 4 men have already been announced for that chamber. Paul Devon, Dule Zaire, Perry Heaton, and D'Angelo Prince, the man in the ring right now, who might get cheated. But D'Angelo's a dirty heel himself, able to kick out there. The other 2 guys, of course, will be announced next week's show, Miss LaFave has told me. But I love the Elimination Chambers. You know one thing about old Dashing, it's that he loves Elimination Chambers. What a counter by Flatters, Mamma Mia! Prince going from the high-ranked district, but caught a vicious power slam. And look at that perfect positioning. To the top rope, imploding 450 again. But once more, there we go. Flops into the lateral press. 1, 2, no! Are you kidding? Look how pissed off Flatters is, and I don't blame him. How in the blue hell did Prince kick out of another 450? Imploding 450. Now a swanton from the ropes. Over the shoulders, Flatters momentarily stunned long enough for D'Angelo Prince to take control. I knew this match was going to steal the show. I said it. Both these guys have so much potential, and Prince now knowing that he's got the opportunity of his career coming up in just 4 short weeks. Side effect to the pin. Looking to catch Flatters off guard, and will he? No. We've had a lot of upsets already tonight. Angelo Bobbles beating Maseo Yume. The ATL beating the Kings, and out to kill a Sunrise by D'Angelo. A submission that put pressure on the arms, the legs, and the lower back. Will Flatters be forced to submit though, or can he find a way out of it? No, Prince actually letting go. Not enough left in Prince's gas tank to keep that locked in. But D'Angelo does not stop there. Off the ropes. Phenomenal forearm busting Flatters wide open. And then to the lateral press. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Neither one of these guys will go down. And I have actually been told by General Manager Cass LaFave, guys, that the winner of this matchup, she just told me, after watching how awesome this match has been, will be the one to challenge Rob Cross for the light heavyweight title in 2 weeks here on Genesis. So these 2 guys still unaware that that's on the line, because Cass LaFave just confirmed it. But now we know, both men now busted open. It's what it's all about, competition like this. No matter who wins, Rob Cross gonna have his work cut out for him. Will it be D'Angelo Prince, or will it be the unbeaten Flatters? D'Angelo catches a second wind. The crowd is split. What a match. Trying to rally. Spinning soul kick, Irish whip, calf kick to the chest. And again, Flatters just won't stay down. Now reeled into a rotation neck breaker. D'Angelo doesn't stop the buck there, baby. Breaks out to a vertical base, goes to the air to the throat again. Flatters catches the boot to the midsection. Now gonna try for a Indian deathlock. Indian deathlock applied by Flatters. Will Prince be the one to tap out here in this match? No. Escapes, and a big punch to the shoulder. Flatters is stunned. D'Angelo seizes the opportunity, but the opportunity seizes him. And now Flatters. Can he do it? Twist of fate, numero tres in this match. Barely able to stand. 3-0 is Flatters. If he can go 4-0, he will get a shot at the light heavyweight title in 2 weeks. Can he do it? Flatters off the ropes. Oh, corkscrew axe kick. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, and Flatters becomes #1 contender for the light heavyweight championship. What a match. D'Angelo Prince, nothing to be ashamed of, and he's got something more important to look forward to, that being the Elimination Chamber. But for Flatters, he remains unbeaten, and now Rob Cross had best be ready. Well, going from the #1 contender for the light heavyweight championship to up next, we find out the #1 contender for the international championship. The Tower of Dominance, Brody Halleck, has announced he will be issuing weekly open challenges starting next week. And in this triple threat, we find out who his first challenger will be. No matter who wins this bout, Brody Halleck is certainly to have a challenge ahead of him. Mr. Extreme, Perry Heenan, and Reese Matthews Extreme, the most inexperienced of the three. And this is only his third match as a member of the Genesis roster. We heard from him earlier today. He said he's going to make up for what happened at Ascend. The fact that he feels as though, and a lot of people feel as though, especially Mills, he is the reason why El Jefe won Money in the Bank. Joined by one of the newest superstars to the Genesis roster. One of the 4 men confirmed for the Elimination Chamber at Anarchy Rules. Former Anarchy champion, 2nd annual Deadly Games winner Perry Heenan. And of course, the former undisputed champion, a man whose gum investigation, guys, still rages on, as we have found out that Ricky Spanish was not the real gum spitter. Spanish just tried to get himself that Ascendance payday, and of course he did. Vintage dashing batteries dying. No, the light heavyweight championship match is in 2 weeks, Hardline. It's going to be on Genesis. And that's not going to be at the pay-per-view. But as I was saying, Reese Matthews not able to get over Ricky Spanish at the show of shows, and still that wretched gum spitter is out there somewhere. And this is an opportunity that Matthews was supposed to receive last week, going one-on-one with Halleck for the international title, but of course Ricky Spanish ended up attacking him. So now Reese has to earn a crack at the belt. We still have Paul Devine set to debut here on Genesis, guys, in a hell of a main event, as the Bloody Brick Chris Andrews and Tim LaFave go one-on-one for the first time in over 2 years. But Mr. Extreme, NGW alumni, a man who's been lying awake this past week, thinking about how he was so close to becoming Mr. Money in the Bank, but botched it big time, and now might be one of the most hated men on the Genesis roster. But he's got to look forward. You know what we say, don't dwell on the past. Look to the future, and that's what Mr. Extreme's going to try to do here, and earn a shot at the International Championship. One of these 3 men be the one to topple the Tower of Dominance, who currently is unbeaten, of course, following his huge win over Hannibal at Ascendant 6. And here he comes. I am so excited to see what the pretty boy Pitbull could get done on Saturday nights, baby. Former Anarchy champion, the 2nd annual Deadly Games winner. Perry Heenan, been a Fusion boy his entire career. And with the news that he'll be entering the Elimination Chamber for the first time ever at Anarchy Rules in 4 weeks for a chance to become #1 contender for the Alpha World title. Paul Devon, of the 4 currently announced, is the only one to have prior chamber experience. Zaire Heenan and D'Angelo Prince have never stepped foot inside of the Devil's domain. And it's a match that will change. Just ask someone like Chris Andrews, who, of course, earlier this season jumped off the top of a fucking pod to win the Alpha World Championship. Pit of danger. Perry Heenan, one of the meanest mofos I've ever seen step inside of a CMV ring. He came so close to winning the World Championship a few months ago. Harvey Hastings had his number, though. Can Perry Heenan begin his career anew? Can he head into next season as the #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship? And last but not least, the former undisputed champion, Reese Matthews, had himself quite the time at Ascendant 6. Once more being duped into believing he had finally found the gum spitter. Ricky Spanish cashing in on that Ascendant's paycheck. And even though the investigation continues, Matthews has got to somehow find a way to maintain his focus on this matchup. And of course, he's faced off against Brody Halleck before. He's the only one of these 3 to have previously faced Halleck, and, well, it didn't exactly go his way, so you know Matthews would like to rewrite that wrong and become international champion in the process. So here we go. Mr. Extreme, Perry Heenan, Reese Matthews. The winner faces Brody Halleck next week for the International Championship. Matthews just dancing out of the corner into a front headlock. And immediately Matthews and Heenan going to team up on Mr. Extreme. Great strategy, but the partnership does not last very long. Immediately turning to each other, and Perry Heenan drops Matthews right down onto the knee, neck first. Oh, now bringing him up into a Hell's Gate, a triangle choke. I like how Mr. Extreme just lets it happen. Can you imagine if Matthews taps out here? He very well may. Now Mr. Extreme breaks it up. Good idea. Perry Heenan is a hell of a submission expert. So many different ways he can tap you out. So both Extreme and Matthews have got to watch out. Reese Matthews going to blindside Perry Heenan, Irish whip, rebounds, chest bump. Surely not out of good sportsmanship, though. I love Reese. I can't deny it. I know a lot of people find him annoying, but come on. That was beautiful. That psych out punch there. Trip up, Perry Heenan takes down the former undisputed champion. Mr. Extreme now has his sights on the pretty boy Pitbull and swiftly sent to the canvas with that clothesline. Extreme doesn't stay down for long, however. Back and forth, sending shots, and Heenan does not get paid by the hour, folks. Torture rack, neckbreaker, vintage Pitbull. Maybe going to try to go to the pin, but sees Matthews out of the corner of his eye re-enter the ring, and I think Heenan may have just shot for one of his many submission holds. If so, Reese with a very, very lucky counter. Perry has been dominating this matchup thus far, beating both Reese Matthews and Mr. Extreme back. Mr. Extreme trying to help out. Hit in! Impaler! Impaler DDT by the Pitbull. And can he get the pin before Matthews is back up? 1, 2, no, Extreme. Might be down, but not out of it just yet. Matthews returns to action. Matthews a bit miffed that, oh, that teamwork. High knee and then Extreme catching Heenan with a clothesline, and see you bye Heenan. Now we've got Matthews and Extreme on their own. Pullback attack. Nice clothesline. Hook of the leg by Mr. Extreme. Tries to finish off Matthews, but it's not going to be enough. Back into the ring. Rolls Perry Heenan trying to come up from behind on Reese, but Reese is too preoccupied with Mr. Extreme to worry about him all that much. Snapmare. Ooh, I love how Reese keeps getting upset. 10 out of 10. Stop stealing my moves. You don't want to see Matthews when he's at you, brother. Double axe handle. See ya bye, Reese Matthews. What is this now by Heenan? Ooh! Brain buster! 1, 2, only a 2 count. Mr. Extreme ringside there trying to psych himself up before he gets back into the ring. Brings Perry Heenan up to see guys as Extreme have this in the bag. The underdog. Pump handle driver. Heenan's looking a bit weary, eyes glazed over, and Extreme knows it. Extreme cutter. Drags him by arm and leg to the pin. Can Matthews get up in time? Yes, he can. Not even a 1 count. Unfortunate for Extreme. What's up, Echo? Up on that second turnbuckle, Reese Matthews aggressively grabbing Extreme by the ankle, ripping him off the turnbuckle, and now to Heenan, who is still recovering from the Extreme cutter, taken out with the total package DDT, but only a 2 count. Now Matthews wastes no time targeting Extreme as he puts him up on that top rope. Elbow to the face though, an Extreme perched high, flies with a missile dropkick, and goodbye. Well, Extreme sees that Heenan is still down, says why not? 1, only a 1 count though. What is up, Echo? You are just in time because Paul Devine makes his Genesis debut up next. Not to mention that huge main event we still have to come. Chris Andrews, Tim Faven. If you missed the newscast, we've been announcing at Anarchy Rules in 4 weeks an Elimination Chamber where the winner will head into next season as the #1 contender for the Outworld Championship. 4 men already confirmed, them being Paul Devine, Dulles Air, Perry Heenan, that man right there in the ring in the gray, and D'Angelo Prince. The other 2 will be announced next week, but right now these 3 are fighting for a shot at Brody Halleck and his International Championship next week as Halleck begins his weekly open challenges. So far, it has been very close between these 3 superstars. Reese Matthews, though, look how smart Matthews is. The total package pile driver. Heenan never saw it coming. And with Extreme down, Reese has got a clear-cut path to victory. 1, 2, 3. The former undisputed champion is going to get the shot he was supposed to get last week. It'll be Reese Matthews, Brody Halleck for the International Championship. What a triple threat match. Very close between all three guys, like I said. But in the end, Reese Matthews catching Perry Heaton off guard as he was focused on Extreme with the total package pile driver. And Reese Matthews going to get one more shot at Brody Halleck and the International Championship next week. Will the former undisputed champion become an international champion? I don't doubt it. Last time Matthews and Halleck fought, it was a very closely called match. Reese going to take a victory lap here. I guess he's earned it. He had a rough go of it at Ascendant 6. He deserves to celebrate this win. Just going to run right over Perry Heaton. Are we looking at the man who will beat Brody Halleck? And now, guys, up next, it is our co-main event, and man, is it a matchup that I cannot wait for the first time. Paul Devine and Xander Slate are slated to go one-on-one, and even more than that, history in the making, because for the first time ever, Paul Devine is a Genesis superstar, the biggest draft pick who made his entire career as a member of the Fusion roster, now begins anew here on Genesis. Let's be honest, he did everything he possibly can do on Monday nights. Now Devine looks to make his Hall of Fame worthy career even more so. And what a way to begin against a man he knows very well in the OG Dirty Heel. If I'm correct, just thinking back right now, I believe the last two fought was at the second annual Cause and Effect pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure that was it. In the second annual Cyborg Invitational. So that was a good while ago. It has been many moons since Paul Devine and Xander Slate have met face to face. And with Devine knowing that in 4 weeks he will once again step foot inside of the Elimination Chamber, the opportunity to walk into next season as #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship. Devine was the king of Fusion. Will he become the king of Genesis? I mean, no doubt stealing the show at Ascendant 6 with his blockbuster 6-star match against Schmitty and getting the win. Something I never thought I would see. Paul Devine as a member of the Genesis roster. But as I touched on briefly, Paul Devine could retire right now and be put immediately, bam, right into the Hall of Fame. But there is still some things that Devine has not done. And most of them are here on Genesis. One of them is that Alpha World Championship. He's a 5-time undisputed champion. And Josh Wolf knows, saying, "On you, Paul." Josh Wolf knows that Devine is immediately a huge threat to his championship. And here he comes, 1/3 of the CMV Trios champions, and usually would have Borton on his side, but of course Randy Borton currently out on injury. We have no idea when he'll be back, and earlier this week on Fusion, Slate and Ortiz, defending their titles, had to substitute Kevin Silva in to retain. And we know that the Good Brothers will be defending their titles at Battle Scars 4 next Sunday, September the 2nd. So will Borton be cleared in time, or will they have to use Kevin Silva again? Like I said, the last time these two fought was 2 years ago at Cause and Effect as a part of the Cyborg Invitational, and Slate did win that encounter. I remember there being controversy around it because Slate had somebody ringside. I don't remember who was ringside, but he had someone ringside who helped him beat Divine. Well, there's nobody this time. Divine's got 100% focus. Rings the bell, the Asian sensation, the OG Dirty Heel. Jawbreaker straight out of the gate, but Slate doesn't stay down for long. Bounces right back up with a jawbreaker. And fires off big time sit-out powerbomb by the former Money in the Bank winner, two-time world champion, former United States champion, two-time world tag team champion, currently 1/3 of the Trios champions. I mean, these guys, the amount of titles between them. Look at Divine, a four-time world tag team champion, Anarchy champion, a Fusion tag team champion, a world champion, five-time world champion, a United States champion. Moonlight drive, corkscrew neckbreaker there by Divine. Now brings Slate up to his seat, reeled into a front headlock for a stiff knee directly to the face. You know, there's a lot of pressure on Divine. Pressure that Divine didn't ask for, but that he surely expects with how big of a name he is here on CMV. It's like Josh Wolf said, all eyes are on Divine right now. If he was to lose to Slate here, I mean, we've already seen throughout the night it has not been a welcoming party for the newest acquisitions for Genesis. Prince Brent lost, the Kings lost, Perry Heenan lost in that triple threat. Well, Divine changed the tempo. Nice slipper slam by the Asian sensation, Japan's biggest export. I always get wet over Slate, all right? And Zaguri by Xander, right on the button, now dragged by the arm. Slate pouncing on Divine with malicious intent, firing off. Look at those bows getting through clean. Guys, let's not forget our huge main event coming up next. Chris Andrews and Tim Levine, another match that we haven't seen in over 2 years. I cannot wait for that. And even though Britt's not 100%, I still expect it to be a banger. Fireman's carry. Sending Divine over the shoulders. These two wasted absolutely. That's like they fought yesterday. They still know each other so well. No feeling each other out, period. No collar and elbow tie-up. And there's the OG Dirty Heel doing what he does best, breaking the rules. Trying to choke out Divine here before the referee's count of 5, though. Make sure he breaks it. Doesn't want to be disqualified. And like it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Xander Slate, one of the most prominent members of the hashtag No Confidence movement. You got to think that Slate loves having the support of Pat LaFave now, especially with Tim setting his sights on Xander. The hashtag No Confidence movement just continues to build each and every single day, and Castlevania now is forced to take notice of it, but before she was seemingly just ignoring all of the uproar, but she can't now. Paul Divine trying to charge Slate, knock him down to the outside. Slate catches him, kick to the side of the head, but Paul Divine snaps to a bit quicker, shakes the cobwebs right back on the apron. Divine says, nah, bitch, you stay there, and again Slate counters, jumps back in. Xander with a super kick. Off the ropes, rebounds, elbow drop. Two future Hall of Famers head to head here in our co-main event at Genesis number 138. I don't recall Xander ever trying to get with Tim's girlfriend. I don't recall that time. Maybe his mom. I wouldn't be surprised. Xander is that kind of guy. Xander pretty much get with everybody. Any single person. We know that for a fact after what happened a couple months ago and being in the relationship with Reese Ortiz now. Thrown overhead. See you by Xander. Monkey flip, but Slate immediately tries to pull himself too in the corner. Shuts that shit down. Snapmare. That was had some torque behind it. Knee to the back now, tying Xander up with his own arms. Doesn't get much more what's the word I'm looking for? Like, oh, it's completely escaping me right now. Cheeky, I guess I'd say. Cheeky. I don't think that's the real word I was looking for, but closest thing to it. Trip up by Slate. You can see he's ticked off. He's a bit miffed. Castlefave is what you're looking for, Zach. The current general manager of Saturday Night Genesis, but maybe not for long. The hashtag no confidence movement seeking to get her out of her position as GM. Senton right there, and Xander Slate's looking where this matchup is going for him right now. Xander, though, giving Paul Devine too much time to recuperate. Look how smart Slate is, though. You might hate him, but Xander is a thinking man's wrestler. And Devine now turns to the CMV Universe, who, of course, pop right up. Whoa, where you going, Devine? Hello. Peekaboo. Says Paul. Oh, no. Chest and ribs first onto the apron. Pure metal. All the hardest parts of the ring converging there on the apron. Devine says, you want to fuck with me, Slate? Now thrown back into the ring. Referee's count of 4. Paul Devine immediately being thrown some stiff competition. Timestamp, though. Been a long while since Slate felt the sting of that boot. 1, 2, 3, and good night, sweet prince. Just like that. Timestamp. See you, bye. Paul Devine has arrived. Welcome to Genesis. The Asian sensation wasted no time in making Saturday nights his. Look at that. Bam! Close range timestamp after getting dropped chest first on the ring apron. Paul Devine carved a path as a part of Monday Night Fusion. Now, he looks to leave his impact on Genesis, and the Elimination Chamber awaits him in 4 weeks at Anarchy Rules. He's felt the sting, the confines of the Devil's Domain before. Can he survive it again? To walk into next season as the #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship, a belt he has never held, one of the very few. Come to think of it, the only titles active today in CMV he's not held. The Alpha World Championship here on Genesis, the International Championship here on Genesis, and the Trios titles, of which he just beat one of the current holders. So here we go, guys. It is main event number 8, and what a main event it's going to be. Nearly 2 years since the last time they came to blows. The Bloody Brick, Chris Andrews, and Timmy Boy, the Timster, the former Alpha World Champion, against the inaugural Alpha World Champion. And Chris Andrews in bad shape, of course, after his half an hour fucking bedlam against Josh Wolf. Main event of Ascendant 6, and of course, I don't think it went the way a lot of people expect. What was the final score? I think 7 in favor of Josh Wolf to Britt's 4. And Britt certainly, especially the last or so, got whopped by Wolf. Even so, Vintage Britt, against the Medical Crew's wishes, flipped him off, said, fuck you. I fight even through injury. No breaks for the Bloody Britt. Even though Josh Wolf now is the Alpha World Champion. Of course, earlier tonight, the Medical Crew not allowing Wolf to compete, but I'd say that's a good thing. Wolf is now the champion. He's the face of Genesis. He can't afford to get an injury. You know, it's not just Britt came out of that Iron Man match mangled. Josh Wolf got his ass kicked too. I mean, go back and watch the match. Look at both of their faces at the end. You can see a big scar across Britt's forehead there. His shoulder. Britt, a condition Wolf is in. He's the champion, and it was a good call by the medical crew to keep him out of action for another week. Let's be honest, though. Britt, half of the time, has some sort... Oh. GG. Forgot to take the championship off of him. He's got the old title. Britt has still got his copy, all right? You know how every time a champion wins a title, they get their own personal copy? Britt's still wearing his, all right? One last night, Andrews has his championship. Of course, it's not true. Josh Wolf is the Alpha World Champion. But Andrews just wanted one last night with the belt. Chris Andrews, the longest reigning Alpha World Champion of all time. His reign coming to an end at 5 months when he lost it to Wolf in the main event of Ascendant 6. And also incurred the most defenses of anybody else. That matchup against the inaugural Alpha World Champion. The man who held that championship for the first time. It was over 2 years ago inside of an elimination chamber. He beat, I believe it was Ryan Kent last to win the title. Ever since then, though, for Tim LaFave, it has been a straight shot down. So many things happen. Furious Frank breaking his neck. Going through that psychotic break. His father tormenting him, coming back this season only for Bob Luger and Click to break his arm, put him on the shelf again. It has transformed Tim LaFave into a different man. He's not the same good old Timmy Boy the Timster that we once knew. And he reiterated that earlier tonight. He said, my quest for vengeance is not done. I put down Bob Luger at Ascendant 6, but I've still got some wrongs to right. Putting his focus on Xander Slate specifically. But then, of course, Tim LaFave taken aback, as I'm sure we all were, with the arrival of his father, Pat, who Castlefave, of course, had ejected. This is Tim LaFave's first Genesis match, guys, in over a year. The two-time Anarchy champion, the two-time tag team champion, two-time international champion, first ever Alpha World Champion is back. Might be better than ever, honestly. What he was in great condition against Luger at Ascendance. I thought there would be a lot of ring rust, but obviously he proved us all wrong. But here we go, Britt and a handshake. I like to see that. These two have an immense amount of respect for each other. Britt has always had Tim's back. Maybe one of the only people to never stab Tim in the back. I legitimately think Andrew's the only person to never betray Tim LaFave's trust. So, of course, Tim is going to shake his hand, show him respect. As the Brit has respect for Tim as well. Everything that he's been through. These are two old warriors that have gone through the meat grinder, but are still standing. Throwing off the ropes, Britt waiting on the rebound, but LaFave wrapping his arms around the ropes so that he does not come back into Britt's hands. But look at Andrews, vintage Bloody Britt. The stalling vertical suplex. I mean, just look at Britt right now. Taped wrist, taped shoulder. I'm sure he's got his ribs taped underneath his shirt. Big scar across his forehead. Tim's got his plethora of injuries, right? A broken neck he came back from. A broken arm. Well, those are things that take years off your career, no doubt about it. Tim's not going to have as long of a career as he may have once had. But hopefully he still has a good many years left in him as Britt takes this fight to the outside. Really, I think Tim looks in better condition. Maybe. I'd have to go back and really look, because I feel like Tim is in better shape than I've seen him before. He certainly did not skip arm day, because he's got some pythons, brother. His traps maybe could do a couple curls. He's got a little bit of a belly. Maybe he's been sharing a couple too many loggers with Britt, you know what I mean? Look at this. Power. Slam thrown overhead into the ring apron at a count of 5. Andrews has certainly taken control early on, but Tim at a count of 6 with a short arm shoulder block. I mean, a lot of targets that Tim can go after here. The wrist, the shoulder, the ribs, the head. Pretty much every part of Brett has been injured at some point. There we go. Tim finally getting some offense in. Are we body shaming here? All right. Are we body shaming Tim? What's this cyberbullying? Big time shoulder block by Tim. So Tim has become a lot more aggressive since returning. Still exhibits that old school moveset, which I love to see. A lot of suplexes. Don't think I've seen him hit a moonsault yet, though. I don't think he hit one on Luger at Ascendance. I would love to see that again. It's been too long. Britt gonna break free of that reverse chin lock, though. Now he reels Tim into a front headlock. Nice belly to belly. Divine did with a timestamp. Pretty good match. Oh, Timmy Boy sent for a ride. Cliffhanger by the former Alpha World Champion, and no flies on Andrews. Oh, goes for revenge when Tim was ready for him. And another massive shoulder block. And Tim, what's going on? Million miles a minute. Hello. What's he doing? Tim, momentarily, I don't know, I'm not sure what happened there. He had Britt primed for the Coney Island Cyclone, but then just stood there. That was weird. Huh. I'm not too sure what just happened there, guys, but this has allowed Britt to regain control. Up on the top rope now, and Mamma Mia from the high rank district. You know, when Britt goes up here, he's looking for something nasty. You've got to be kidding me. The stalling superplex. I believe he actually, I don't know why this is coming to mind right now, but beat John Reed with that back at Wildcard to retain the Alpha World Championship. How amazing is Andrews? Even in the condition he's in, still a stalling superplex. A stalling superplex, for Christ's sake. From behind, Tim turned inside out. What a hellacious waistlock lariat. Or maybe more of a chest lock lariat there. Tim LaFave might be down, but he's not out. The heart of LaFave always beating. Never dies, no matter what you do to him. I mean, if Tim can survive a broken neck, a psychotic break, a broken arm, nearly every single friend besides Britt he's ever had betraying him, I think he can survive a superplex. Look at that deadlift gut wrench suplex by Timmy Boy, showing off his power game. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell happened to Tim there. He had Britt ready to go for the Coney Island Cycle, but then just stopped. Maybe a hesitation out of the friendship these two have, or maybe, I don't know, thinking about his father or something caught Tim off guard there. Trio clotheslines, as we know. Britt loving all things threes. Drops into the pin. Referee Perry White's going to take his good old time. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Tim LaFave to a vertical base, following a punch to the midsection, sucks the air right up out of Britt. Tim with the stalling suplexes in this match. The blood rushing to the head of the Brit. And now Tim goes one-handed. You already knew this was going to be an awesome match. Oh boy, we are going old school Tim now. Forearm smash, inverted atomic drop, scoop slam. LaFave is rolling. Cass LaFave's baby boy is back. Long Island slam. And can Tim focus now? Try to put Britt down. Suplex, but a knee to the top of the head. Britt feels the match slipping away from him. Charges. Tim's ready. Takedown. Targets that shoulder once again. Kick to the gut. Andrews kick to the chest. And Tim lines up his shot. Finger to the trigger. His first match on Genesis in over a year. Britt counters. The Coney Island Cyclone is thwarted. And now Britt, again, to the cliffhanger. Both these guys refusing to let the other hit their finishing maneuvers. And here comes Britt, back suplex. German suplex. Spins Lefebvre around to the vertical. No finishers yet. Britt tried for the revenge. Tim countered it. Tim's tried twice for the Coney Island Cyclone. But now Britt might get it off. Range! Connecting to the pin. 1, 2, no! Lefebvre gets his shoulder up off the canvas just in the nick of time for this match to continue. Our main event for Genesis number 138. That might not have been enough for Lefebvre to stay down, but his jaw is certainly hurting right now. Are we going to get an FDNY drop? No, where's he taking him? To the ropes, draped over the top rope, right down to the chest, targeting the sternum, making it hard for Britt to breathe as Tim goes for the pin, only collects a 1 count. To the head scissors, Tim Lefebvre's pulled out a lot of new maneuvers against Bob Luger at Ascendance and here tonight against Andrews. I've never seen him hit before. Trying to expand his repertoire. Elbow drop. Brings Britt to his feet. Britt seems a bit dazed and confused now. Lefebvre trying to capitalize on that. Gets an elbow straight to the face, however. Charges. Belly to belly attempted. Britt fighting the Britt back, though. Should say Tim fighting the Britt back. Irish hook to the corner. Slowly approaches. Does Andrews to the top rope again. Lefebvre cannot get caught with another one of those stalling superplexes. He knows that. Lefebvre ain't no high flyer, but there he goes! Cross body, yes please! Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Oh man, he nearly got it there. Even going so far as to argue with senior official White here. Elbow drop again to the chest. Tim trying to wear down Britt the best he can. Goes to the Long Island Slam again. Andrews counters it though. What does Andrews have in mind? A third dose of the cliffhanger. Numero tres for the former Alpha World Champion, former World Champion, CMV veteran, the Bloody Britt. Grabbing a hold of the arm, snaps it over the knee. And that's Lefebvre's previously broken arm. And now Britt with Lefebvre stunned delivers a second dose of revenge. 1, 2, 3, and Chris Andrews is victorious. What a match, and you knew it was going to be a show stealer. Lefebvre with his first Genesis match in over a year. Threw caution to the wind, put it all on the line, but hits the Britt. That walks out with the victory. Chris Andrews is the only man to never turn on Tim Lefebvre. We saw the show of respect at the start of the match with the handshake, and they put on a stellar bout for the CMV universe. Now it's about what's next. Pat Lefebvre is back. How does Tim deal with that? And what about Britt? How does he proceed? Yeah, Tim very well could have had the match won early on when he had Britt set up for the Coney Island Cyclone, but something distracted him. I don't know what. He teared out Britt to get the advantage. What that was from there to gets him the win. Hell, if they're gonna win the fake championship. Genesis for the International Championship. And don't forget, a 3-day run. Tomorrow's Fusion, big time main event will be on that show. A triple threat featuring MF3, MLP, and Pierre Thompson. Of course, it's the last Fusion before next Sunday's Battle Scars 4, September the 2nd. And a lot more than, of course, Tuesday going to be NGW. So you don't want to miss all that. Make sure you follow me if you are not yet so you get alerted when I go live. Exclamation point Twitter, exclamation point Discord will give you links to our social media. And if you want to get featured on CMV, want to be a part of the show, exclamation point join will give you a link to our website, cmvwrestling.com. We are on Xbox One. You are more than welcome. Go, rip in peace, GG, coming in right at the end. Nice to see you, though. And I will catch you guys tomorrow, hopefully for Fusion. Have a good one. Toodaloo. See ya. Peace. Bye.